So I don't know where to start, but we're gonna try to start from somewhere. We all gotta start from somewhere. So I don't know how to go about this, talk about this. I already talked about this, and yeah, but because I already talked about how and what made me be asexual. Um, but here's the thing that made me discover that I was asexual, because I guess I suffer from mania, and when you have mania, you do a lot of things, and I did a lot of things. Um, I had a lot of sex, and when it comes to having mania and sex, you kind of do things on impulse. So basically, I did a lot of things that I regretted. And so a lot of times I blamed it like on my mania. I was like, oh, why have mania? I'm supposed to feel like this. I'm supposed to feel like nasty and regretful and guilt, for having sex with someone that was married, sex with someone that was a stranger. It was a lot of things. But but then I was like, no, there's something else going on, and I could never describe it. And then one day I was like, one day like it clicked because I went to the doctor, and they're like doing something, and it clicked to me. I'm like, okay, this is how it feels. So here's the whole story. So basically, like, I was seeing someone, and I'd be like, it doesn't feel right when you touch me. It feels like abuse. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like abuse, and I don't like it. Tell them that. I was like, I just don't like that feeling. I was like, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't make sense for me to feel like I'm being abused, but it felt like that to me. I was like, yeah, it's consensual, but it still felt like abuse to me, and I just didn't know how to explain that, and people didn't understand what I was talking about, because people were like, you tell someone, oh yeah, let's have sex, but then they're like, you said yeah, and then you never say no, so it's like, there's a contradiction there. So a lot of people don't understand what it means to be asexual. So, and like what I was experiencing, so I'm gonna just tell y'all how it feels to be experience what I was talking about, because a lot of people don't understand that. And so basically, I'm gonna start off with I kind of discovered that situation. So one day I went to the doctor, and like I did a urine test, and then they did the urine test, and they're like, it seems like you have like blood coming out of your urine, which you can't really see it, and there was no blood, but it's like blood cells. So they're like, okay, we're gonna send you to a urologist, right? So then the doctor, on my next visit, the doctor like was like, I'm gonna examine you down there on your private area, your penis, basically. And it felt very uncomfortable for me. Um, it was uncomfortable for me, and yeah, I just like I was like, oh my god, this is how it feels when I have sex. Like, I'm giving consent, but it still doesn't feel right. So basically, if you ever had an exam, a physical exam, you know that the doctor has to touch you, has to touch your private areas, your testicles, and it feels wrong. Especially like, because I had my physical when I was like 13 or whatever, and when I did that physical, I felt like wrong. It felt wrong. It's like, I consented to it, but I still felt wrong. It's like, no, this doesn't feel right. Again, you could say no to a physical. You could be 13 and be like, no, I don't want you to touch me, and your doctor's not gonna touch you. Again, it's your right, but again, I consented to it, and like, um, so that's how I feel like when I'm with someone. I feel uh, like I feel like I'm with them, but like it's just and I consent to it, but it feels wrong. I feel like nasty and horrible, and I always thought, because it's like, oh, it's just my mania and like my impulsiveness, and there's just like my mental illness. But then I just realized that, like, maybe I'm just asexual and I don't like sex. So this is why I feel this way, because people like, people, how do I say this? people aren't asexual. The majority of people aren't asexual. We're wired to be in a monogamous relationship. Have a family, etc. That's how society works. That's how it's been for many, 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 many generations, etc., centuries, etc. So to be asexual is kind of weird. Um, so yeah, I just never thought about it. I never thought about like, oh, I'm asexual, but like looking back at it now, I realized that like how much it traumatized me, like all that, because we're, like I said, wired to be in a relationship, be with someone, have sex, think about sex all the time. So like for me, like, I don't know, just like, again, we are trying to seek that, we are trying to seek a monogamous relationship and have a family and so on, the BS, we are trying to seek that. So for me, it's like, oh, I I'm trying to seek that, which was very difficult because, like, all the time I felt like I was being abused, um, and it just felt wrong, and I was always like cry, I was like, oh, like, this is nasty, and yeah, like I just didn't realize like what was going on. I realized, like, am I the problem? Are they the problem? Like, what's going on? Like, I just didn't understand anything because people don't talk about sex. People don't talk about sex with their children. People don't explore sex, um, and so on. So I mean, um, it was hard for me, but I feel like since I've been practicing, what's the word? I felt like since I've been like self-loving myself, I feel much better mentally. Like I said in previous videos, like I feel mentally better, like not just like hooking up, not being in a monogamous relationship. I don't know. I can't be in a monogamous relationship. I cannot be in a more than one relationship. I cannot be in a one night stand relationship. I cannot be in a one night stand. I can't. I don't know. I just can't do none of that. Like, um, yeah. So I feel better accepting that. I don't know. Like, I feel better accepting. When you tell, how do I say this? Like, it feels relief. It feels like a relief when you describe your emotions and try to analyze them. Like, oh, when you have sex, it feels nasty. You don't like it, and that's okay. You tell them that's okay. There's nothing wrong with me, even though there's something wrong with me. You'll be like, there's nothing wrong with me. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. And that's what I tell myself. I'm like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That's okay. I'm not in a monogamous relationship. I'm not in one night stand. I'm not doing one night stands, and that's okay. That is okay. You know. So yeah, that was it. That's all I wanted to talk about. But yeah, COVID has helped a lot. I know this is bad, but like I said in my other video, maybe I didn't upload it, but like COVID has helped a lot with like not hooking up, because you don't hook up with anyone because everything's closed down, and just like, I don't know, it just has helped me a lot, COVID. Um, yeah, like I don't have to worry about hooking up with anyone, because it was COVID, and it's like I had to relieve, like not hooking up, being more stable than being more stable. So yeah, I'm kind of more stable now, I guess. Yeah. um yeah, more stable. I don't know. I feel uncomfortable. But yeah, it's like depressing but sad at the same time, you know, because in society, like, you're supposed to get married and everything, you know, that's the norm, but then you don't feel that way and it just feels awkward, you know. But then again, there's many things contributing to me not being in a relationship. It's not just asexual, it's just other things, you know. um but yeah, it's hard being stable, you know. It's so hard to be stable. um ugh, I know, I just don't want to think about it. Because I get triggered, you know, like I don't know, I just get triggered. Okay, that's it.